Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to TQM Travels. Today we are visiting the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone. Today is our first full day here in Yellowstone National Park, and we're going to be spending most of our morning hiking around the canyon. Right now we're hiking along the north rim of the canyon, which so far the trail has been pretty flat. I don't think it'll be too intense walking over to the different overlooks along the north rim here. But there is a short trail that we're going to do that's pretty steep to get down close to the waterfall here behind me. So why don't we go ahead and continue along the trails. So we're here at Lookout Point now. So the main overlook is up this way here. The views are pretty nice, but then there's this second trail to go down lower. The trail is really short, but it's pretty steep. You can tell we just finished it up and I'm really, really winded, but the views down there are really nice. It's definitely worth the trek down. So now we're gonna continue along the North Rim Trail to head to Inspiration Point and see what the view looks like over there. So we're here now at Inspiration Point. This is the end of the North Rim Trail from where we parked, so view's pretty cool, guys. You can barely just see the waterfall in the distance back there. We hiked a pretty good bit to get over here, and now we actually have to hike all the way back. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then we're probably gonna do the trail to go walk down to the very top of the waterfall. It's supposed to be another short but steep hike, so we'll meet you guys over at that trailhead. Now we're back by the main parking area, and we're going to be taking another quick trail. This is called the Lower Falls Brink Trail. It takes you down pretty much to the crest of the waterfall where it topples over the edge. So it's supposed to be a pretty short trail, but it's a 600-foot elevation change. So we're going to go down and then come back up. So we'll probably go ahead and see you at the bottom. As you can see, we made it here to the brink of the lower falls, where the waterfall is just toppling over the edge. It's really, really pretty. Over at the other side where the mist is coming up, there's actually a pretty cool rainbow. The trek down here obviously was pretty easy since it was all downhill, but again, it's 600 feet down here, so now it's time to unfortunately climb 600 feet back up. We made it back up now to the top of the trail down to the brink of the lower falls. The climb up was as tough as I expected. It's really steep, there's a lot of switchbacks, but luckily there were plenty of benches and places to rest, so I just took it nice and slow. Now we're going to be heading over to the brink of Upper Falls, which you can just make out back in the background here. That's the Upper Falls there. So we're going to head over there, and that's going to be the last area that we check out here on the North Rim. And then we're going to be driving across the bridge in order to check out the observation points at the South Rim as well. So we'll see you guys at Upper Falls. Both waterfalls though do look really cool, and one thing to point out for basically all of the overlooks that we've looked at today and the ones that we're going to be going to later today is, so while we did a lot of the hiking trails to connect all of these observation points on the North Rim Trail, you can actually drive up to each one individually pretty much if you'd like to, so you can keep that in mind if you don't want to go for a long hike. You can definitely just drive up to each of these observation points and take a look. I would say all of the viewpoints that we've gone to have been worth it in their own way. So now we're going to hop back in the car and we're going to head over to the South Rim now. After a short drive, we've come here now to the South Rim. Now we're not going to do any of the hikes around here right now. There are a couple of interconnecting trails to go along the rim of the trail, just like at the North Rim, but we did enough hiking along the North Rim for now, so we're just going to be stopping off at the different overlooks here. Right now we're at what's called Artist Point. There's another overlook a little bit further down that way called Uncle Tom's. We'll probably go down there as well. So we're just taking in the views. It's really cool. You can really get a different angle of the waterfall for the lower falls here, and it's really, really beautiful. So we're just going to take some photos and videos in these areas, and then after that I'm not sure what we're going to do. We'll have to check in with Florida to see what's next on the itinerary. So we made it here now to our second destination for the day. We're at the Norris Geyser Basin. I believe there's just a bunch of interconnected trails and paths to the different geysers. So we're going to go head inside and take a look and see what we see. This geyser basin is pretty amazing so far. We've only just started, so it's pretty sweet. It's cool to see all of the thermal activity coming through the ground, seeing the steam come up, seeing the water, which is like blue in some sections, clear in others. It's amazing. pretty much come to the end of the back basin loop here. We are going to be heading to the car now in order to drive back to our VRBO, and we'll catch up with you there one last time. So we have made it now back to our VRBO and our condo. It's been a pretty busy day.
Canyon was dope. Must see.
Yeah.
We started on the north rim.
Yep.
And we did a couple descents that take you to really good views. Like 600 feet down.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah, for that one trail at least, especially.
Yeah. So that was good. I think it was Red Rocks and Lower Falls.
Yeah, the Red Rocks Trail was at Lookout Point. That was a pretty decent descent. That viewpoint was really cool. And then the other one was the what was it called? The Brink of the Lower Falls. That was really, really cool. I saw some pictures of it that Flora had showed me, and I was like, this does not look that exciting. But the photos you might see online do not do it justice. It's really, really cool to see in person, just seeing all of that water like rushing over the edge. It's really pretty cool.
And some rainbows.
Which rim did you think was better though? So we also did the south rim a little bit, but we did mostly just driving up to the overlook points for that one.
For the overlooks, I would say the south rim gives you better perspective.
Yeah, you can see the waterfall a little bit clearer, and we hiked all the way from like the beginning of the north rim up to what was Inspiration Point. And that overlook was not quite as good, especially if you wanted to see the waterfall. Like it's cool seeing into the canyon. I would say for the north rim, it's probably more worth just driving to those different overlooks along the trail rather than hiking through them, because it'll be a lot quicker. But those hikes that go down into the canyon, those were awesome. So definitely, if you have the energy to do it, I would definitely recommend those. And then what did you think of the geyser though, that basin area? This is pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I've heard compared to the other geysers that we're going to be seeing tomorrow, it's a little underwhelming. It's still pretty cool to go over in that area, and it's probably going to be less crowded than what we're seeing tomorrow, so.
Yeah, it's like a warm-up for the big show tomorrow.
Yep. So we're going to be right back at this again tomorrow, though. We'll still be exploring Yellowstone. We're going to be heading to Old Faithful and also the Grand Prismatic Spring. And then if we have time at the end of the day, we're also going to be trying to go to Hayden Valley in order to see some wildlife. So we've seen a couple of bison and elk here and there, but we're hoping to see some big herds. If you haven't yet, do be sure to subscribe to the channel and also ring that notification bell so that way you can be notified when that episode airs. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode, and until next time, cheers.